What's going on, guys? Vital here, and sorry I haven't posted a video in a long time. I've been playing For Honor lately. Let me know if you guys want to see some more For Honor clips. I know it's not super popular game, but I do like it. But anyway, in this video, we're going to be talking about my hybrid slash mixed build between ultimate damage and melee damage, and what I think of it. What its weaknesses are, and I'm also going to be going over the top comments on my recent videos just to kind of go over like some of your guys' thoughts and what your guys are thinking of compared to what I'm going through and what I am striving for and looking for in components, gear, and weapons. So we'll go over my build first, and then I'll go over your guys' comments. So components, I'll just kind of quickly go over them. 75, 100, a little bit of ultimate damage here. Way of the Bold, it's a Interceptor specific component, so you won't find ultimate or melee damage on it. If you're going to find anything, you might as well be repair drop rate. Ultimate and ultimate, it's kind of like a half and half. I think there's more ultimate damage than I do have melee damage on it, but I mean, either way, this build just completely melts through everything, whether you're in or out of your ultimate. I got the Slayer's Fury on. Still got the Close Encounters pistol, only because, and the reason why I'm not using Unending Battle is because if I'm not going for that max melee damage, then I don't need the Unending Battle, because when I was using my melee build and doing, 80,000 plus damage, when I shot my Unending Battle, I figured that was my ultimate. I shoot my Unending Battle, I'm doing a lot of loads of melee damage, and that was my ultimate. Soothing Touch, still got the Armor Max, Deathstalker Blades, still the same. Now, here's a little controversial thing. I'm using the Sudden Death because, for two reasons. One is just to detonate a combo, and two is when I get that acid aura, I do a little bit more damage, and it makes their armor just a little bit weaker. I'm still using Serpent's Veil. Honestly, you do not need 3 charges, or in this case, you don't need 4 charges. Like, that's just too much. If you're gonna do this, go for gear damage. So the controversial thing about this is a lot of people, like an ultimate build, will just start spraying Viper's Bite just to get their ultimate back. And this is a mixed build, so I don't really need my ultimate, but when I do, everything is dead. Like, everything is just going to be killed. And we'll hop into a GM3, obviously, on private, and we'll hop right in. Time to answer some of you guys' questions, like your guys' top questions. Do I use sigils? Absolutely not. But there is a time when I do use sigils, and I'll talk about that. The reason why I do not use sigils is for one reason. I do not like relying on something else to give me strength. Whether it's a sigil, whether it's the Colossus Berserker's Cry, whether it's anything in the game that my person does not proc myself, that I can't do solo. If I can't kill something solo, then I can't kill anything at all. And that's just kind of my way of trying to be the best I can as an interceptor. Another comment was flying enemies. Like, do I have a problem with flying enemies? And if I get a flying enemy, I'll kind of show you guys what I do for them. It is kind of difficult as an interceptor, of course, just because you're a melee master, but flying enemies are no problem with me. And I also figured out a different way to move as fast with the interceptor, and I'll try and show you. So basically, before it was jump, dash, melee, jump, and that was like the fastest way in my eyes. And I figured, I actually played the Ranger just a little bit, and I figured that, I would always melee jump and before I did anything. So if you jump, melee dash, jump, and then jump again, you go way farther. Like, way farther. It's not by much, but it is a difference. And I am going to be using my ultimate, like, in my melee build, I would just never get my ultimate, and if I did, then I would just get right out of it, just for the health. But in this build, I will definitely use my ultimate, just because it's so useful. You know, I kind of overlooked the ultimate. Oh, I gotta be gardeners. So in this build, I'm definitely gonna be using my ultimate when needed, and that emergency power really kicks in, and it's nice. But I really just like killing these things. Like right now, I won't use my ultimate, obviously, just because I don't need it. But like, just see how fast these things are just dying. Like, it's just, there's just no chance. And it's on GM3, of course. But when I'm doing these leaderboard runs, so the only time I do use sigils is when I'm doing leaderboard runs and I'm trying to get that #1 spot with my team. And my guild leader will always get on my ass for not using sigils, but that is a time when I will use sigils. Just to get a little bit more acid damage and a little bit more melee damage. A little bit more armor, and that's about it. So if I were to use sigils, it's armor, melee. I will pop the ult. Usually you just have to touch them once. I'm gonna get out of my ultimate real quick. So this flying enemy, I'll kind of show you how I try and kill them. You won't be able to kill them like fully just in the air. You can wound them to where they will kind of come down, but so I'll throw something at them. And if you melee, and you can time your melee, they'll kind of stay up in the air with them. And that's how you kill flying enemies. It can get tough. The timing is a little difficult, but it's not the hardest thing to do. Alright, got 2 more of these. And the last question well, there's a couple of, like, this is like kind of a couple variations of this question, is how to level up like as fast as you can. And honestly, I wouldn't worry about leveling up. I would just worry about getting those god tier components, and get a good weapon with a lot of armor max, and then you should be set. I wouldn't worry about getting a high power level, because like for the longest time I didn't have a bloodlust that was legendary. It was just a masterwork. Come on. And so that was a problem for me. But like, if you're gonna sacrifice a good component for a bad component just because it's legendary, that's not the way to go in this game, like, at all. But we'll go to the next destination, and we'll see if we can kill a couple, hopefully some enforcers, something heavier. But I will be doing leaderboard runs, and I am moving, and I will be streaming. So if you guys want to see me stream and kind of see, you know, what kind of goes behind the scenes, and you can definitely ask me as many questions as you want. These brutes are a pain in my ass, especially these legendary brutes. The only way I can kill these things is if I have ice. But I really gotta pick up these fragments. But yeah, flying enemies are not as tough. If there's a couple of them, then yeah, of course, it's going to be a little rougher, but I do not have a problem with flying enemies, which is kind of the opposite of what an Interceptor would do. You'd think that an Interceptor has a hard time with flying enemies. These brutes, man, get off me, bro. Oh, come on. Give me some health. Alright. Alright, going back in. So yeah, jump, melee, dash, jump, jump. And that's the fastest way you can move with an Interceptor. Pick up this health real quick. There's two main builds for an Interceptor, and that's Hybrid and Ultimate. It just depends on whether or not if you like to spray your Viper's Bite and not be able to kill outside of your Ultimate, or if you do like to kill outside of your Ultimate and in your Ultimate. It's really entirely up to you guys, but that's it. Leave a comment down below, and let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.